First of all, basically, these are two-step equations now. Okay, two-step equations, you're going to do 2 steps. Okay, so most of the time, well, almost, I think on all of your problems today, you are going to first add the opposite, and then second, multiply by the reciprocal, or some of you have started just doing divide as well. Okay, some of you have been doing divide. Now, your sheet of paper might be a little different than mine because I've updated it. I feel like I've made it better by having these two pieces in here. But anyways, so number one, remember, eventually I want to get it so it's x equals, right? I want to have work so I can get to x equals. So up here, I have to get rid of both the 2 and the 4. You have to understand, though, getting rid of the 4, I'm going to add or subtract. Getting rid of the 2, I'm going to multiply or divide. Okay? So, and we're always going to do the inverse. We're going to do the opposite. Okay? So how do I undo adding 4? Subtract 4, or add a negative 4. So you can do it either way, because sometimes we get confused with our negatives. Remember, that zeroes out. So we get 2x equals -2. You should have all of that copied down now. Okay? All of what I wrote copied down. All of what I've wrote so far copied down. Not what you want to write, but what I have written. Okay? Then, the easy way to do this and to show the work, we're multiplying by 2, so to undo that, we divide by 2. And guess what? We draw another total line, and this cancels, so we get x equals -1. So in your assignment today, when you're working on a separate sheet of paper, you are going to write the problem down, show what you're adding, add the opposite, show what you're adding to both sides, and then multiply or divide. And notice there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. Okay? So remember how I drew up the picture of the paper over here? That's what you're going to have. Number 2, how do I undo subtract 5? Add 5. So I do it to both sides. Total line. This is 0. So I'm left with the -2x equals 6. And then divide by the -2. Total line. And x equals -3. Notice, this is a -2. So when I divided, I had to divide by a -2. I can't divide by a +2, okay, because then I'd still have a -x. You have to divide by a negative, so the negatives cancel, right? This cancels here to give me just the x. All right, so if you don't have all that copied down, go ahead and copy it down. Please don't work ahead because you don't have to. We're going to take our time going through all this, making sure everybody gets everything copied down correctly. Number 3, how do we undo subtracting 5? Add 5. So we're going to add 5, add 5. What we do to one side, we must do to the other. This zeroes out. So we have 2x equals 8. Then, to undo multiplying by 2, we divide by 2. Again, this cancels. That's why I did it. So I get x equals 4. Make sure you have that copied down. Here's falling down here. Number 2, you got to get copied down. Number 3, you got to get copied down. Number 4. How do I undo adding 22? Subtract 22. Subtract the 22. So I'm left with 4x equals 20. Remember, this zeroes out. That's why I did it. So that would zero out. And then how do I undo multiplying by 4? Divide by 4. This cancels. So I have x equals 5. Questions, anybody? Now, when I do it, it seems easy, right? Hopefully. Number 5, now it's written a little different. Okay, but you still have to understand, you're asking yourself, how do I get this 6 to be a 0? I can either subtract 6 or add a negative 6, right? Okay. So subtract the 6. I am still left here with this left side here. This zeroes out right here. This zeroes out. That's 0. But I still have this negative. So you got to remember that negative. So we have a negative 3x. And then 21 minus 6 is 15. Okay, so you have to remember that negative there. Or subtraction. Or minus. However you think of it. Okay? Then how do I undo multiplying by a negative 3? Divide by the negative 3. Total line. This cancels. The negative cancels. The 3's cancel. Leaving me with just the x, which I want. And that would equal a negative 5. Make sure you have that copied down. Number 6. What's my first step going to be? Subtract the 9. Here's my variable. I need to get rid of this 9. I need to zero that out. So I need to subtract 9 or add the opposite, add a negative 9. When I do that, that zeroes out. So I have 3x is equal to, and 24 minus 9, if I did my math right, is 15. And then my next step, how do I undo multiplying by 3? Divide by 3. Cancels. X equals 5. Okay, now I only have 2 left, right? That's all that's left on your sheet. See if you can, using the information above, write down everything that I'm going to write down before I do it. So go ahead and do number 7 and see if you can write it down correctly the way I would do it, the way you're going to have to do it on your assignment when you're working. And if you feel comfortable and confident with number 7, go ahead and start number 8. All right, so hopefully here, now the hard part here is you had to recognize my variable is over on that side. So you're not asking yourself, how do I get rid of the 25? You're asking yourself, how do you get rid of the 10? How do you zero out the 10? Okay? So you have to subtract 10. 25 minus 10 is 15, and that will equal then, this zeroes out, 5x. Again, my x is over here, so you're asking yourself, how do you undo 5 times x? We divide by 5. And, whoops, I didn't do that. And just because it's on video, I can still claim I didn't do it. All right, this was a 15, this was 5. And here I get 3, and it's equal to, and here it cancels, x, so we get x equals 3. Question, yeah?
Would it matter if we just switch the?
Oh, no, that's the same thing. Yeah, you have 3 equals x, x equals 3, it's the same thing. An equal sign goes both ways, so you can read it either way. Anybody else? All right, number 8, hopefully you did it. We're subtracting 20, so we have to add 20. And that will be 50 is equal to 5x. And then to undo multiplying by 5, we have to divide by 5. 50 divided by 5 is 10. And we get 10 is equal to x, or x equals 10. Questions? Okay, now, the worksheet that you have next isn't right. So what I'm going to do is pass out this worksheet. Now, here's the nice thing, though. If you already did it, then you only have 3 more problems to do, because these are all the same still. Okay? So all I did is reformatted it so I could fit 3 more problems on there. But don't do your assignment on there. I want you to do your assignment on here, unless you already did it on there. But I want you to do your assignment on here, showing your steps, just like we did here. Okay? Showing your steps. I didn't put a spot for your name, but name, top right corner, and then you'll put your score Monday, when we correct it, we'll do the score on here as well. Question? You are not working on the computer today. We are just doing this worksheet. When you get done with this worksheet, you can read a book or do old IXLs.
What if we want to do that IXL? Should we do it?
No. Anybody else? All right. Because this is only half of the work that we need for that IXL. Just so you know, just like the other one, we did it 2 days.